Hello and welcome to InfoSec Insights. In this video, we will discuss about CISSP Domain 1, which is Security and Risk Management. It is one of the 8 domains which is covered in CISSP exam. This domain focuses on the principles and practices related to information security governance, risk management, and compliance. It is a fundamental domain that provides the foundation for understanding the broader context of information security within an organization. Let's have a domain overview. The topics that are covered in this domain are security concepts, governance principles, policy standards and procedures and guidelines, awareness and training programs, risk management concepts, business continuity, laws and regulations, and compliance. So let's move on to the first security concepts, which is CIA Triad. The goal of cybersecurity is to protect the organization's vital assets against rapidly increasing cyber attacks. This can be ensured by implementing the right security protocols that can detect and prevent such attacks. The key purpose of cybersecurity is to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data and services. CIA Triad forms the foundation of any organization's security infrastructure, and it indicates that once data or system is attacked, these principles are violated. So what is confidentiality? Confidentiality means keeping unauthorized entities, whether they are people or processes, from gaining access to information systems or information assets. Confidentiality can be provided by encrypting data as it is stored and transmitted, or by enforcing strict access control and data classifications. It can also be retained by training personnel on the proper data protection procedures. Now, attackers, when they attack on any information assets, they try to break the confidentiality. Some of the common attacks on confidentiality includes network monitoring, shoulder surfing, stealing credentials, breaking encryption schemes, and social engineering. Now, these are not the list of all the attacks. These are just some of the attacks that we are seeing here. Network monitoring. In network monitoring, attackers, they try to do active or passive network monitoring. They try to figure it out what ports and protocols or services are in use within the organization. In shoulder surfing, credentials. In shoulder surfing is when a person looks over another person's shoulder and watches their keystrokes or views data as it appears on the computer screen. Social engineering is when one person tricks another person into sharing confidential information, for example, by posing as someone authorized to have access to that information. Social engineering attacks can take many forms. Any one-to-one communication medium can be used to perform social engineering attacks, and phishing attack is one of them. Breaking encryption schemes. In this type of attack, attackers try to figure it out what encryption algorithm is in use and how long is the key length. They try to break the encryption to obtain the plain text data. Now, users can intentionally or accidentally disclose sensitive information by not encrypting it or before sending it to the other person. By falling prey to such kind of attacks, it will violate the concept of confidentiality. Integrity. Integrity means that an asset is free from unauthorized alterations. Only authorized entities should be able to modify an asset, and only in specific authorized ways. For example, you are reviewing the orders placed by customers on your online store. You should not be able to increase the price of any items in those orders after they have been purchased. It is your store, so you can clearly change prices as you wish. However, You just shouldn't be able to do it after someone agrees to buy an item at a certain price and gives you authorization to change their credit card. Some of the attacks of integrity includes malware injection, introducing malicious softwares into your system which are used to alter or corrupt data. Example includes viruses, worms, trojan, ransomware. Man-in-the-middle attacks. In these attacks, attackers they intercept and manipulate the communication between the two parties without their knowledge. Attackers can modify data exchange between the parties and which potentially leads to a data corruption or unauthorized actions. File integration attacks. Unauthorized modification or substitution of files with malicious versions. This can involve altering critical system files or replacing legitimate software with compromised versions. Supply chain attacks. Targeting third party suppliers or vendors to introduce malicious components or code into software or hardware products. Insider threats. Malicious actions taken by individuals within an organization with access to sensitive systems or data, which can include deliberate data tampering. Availability. Availability protection ensures reliable and timely access to data and resources to authorized individuals. Network devices, computers, or applications, they should provide adequate functionality to perform in a predictable manner with an acceptable level of performance. They should be able to recover from disruptions in a secure and quick fashion, so productivity should not be negatively impacted. Imagine developers, they are ready to deploy an application, but at the last moment they figure it out that the servers or services are not available to deploy because of some attack. So this will impact the business directly. Some of the attacks on availability includes distributed denial of service, in which a target system will be overwhelmed with a massive volume of traffic from multiple sources, causing it to become overloaded and unavailable to legitimate users. Ransomware attack, encrypting a victim's data and demanding a ransom for its decryption. If the ransom if the ransom for some reason is not paid, the data remains inaccessible, which interrupts the business operations. Physical attacks, physically damaging or destroying hardware components, servers, or network infrastructure to disrupt the availability. Software bugs and vulnerabilities, exploiting weaknesses or vulnerabilities in software application to crash systems or to cause them to become unresponsive. Environmental factors, natural disasters such as earthquake, flood, hurricanes, or fires, they can also damage the infrastructure and disrupt the availability. Authenticity. Authenticity protection ensures that we can trust that something comes from its claimed source. This concept is the foundation of authentication, which establishes that an entity trying to access a system is really who it claims to be. Now, one of the curious features of the modern internet is that sometimes we are unsure of who is putting out the things that we read or download. Or even if you watch the videos today, you'll find a lot of videos based on AI. But are they putting the right content? Are they explaining the right concepts? Similar way, if you download a patch, does that patch really come from the licensed vendor? Did your boss really send you that email asking you to buy $10,000 worth of gift cards? Authenticity in information systems is almost always provided through cryptographic means. For example, when you connect to a bank websites, the connection should be encrypted using TLS protocol, which in turn uses your bank's digital certificate to authenticate to your browser that it is truly is the bank on the other end and not an imposter. When you log into the bank, it takes a cryptographic hash of the credentials you provide and then compares them to the hash the bank has in your records to ensure that it is really you on the other end. Authentic- The attacks on authenticity is very common, and those attacks includes impersonation, pretending to be someone else in order to deceive or manipulate others. This can occur in person or even in online, where attackers may create fake profiles or accounts to impersonate individuals. Spoofing, falsifying data or information to make it appear legitimate or authentic. This can include email spoofing, where the sender address is manipulated to appear to come as a trusted source. Deepfakes, creating highly convincing fake video or audio content that appears to feature real individuals saying or doing things that they never actually did. Deepfakes are widely used these days for deception, misinformation, or malicious intent. Phishing, sending deceptive emails or messages that appear to be from legitimate sources in order to trick the recipients into revealing sensitive information or taking harmful actions. Brandjacking, registering domain names or social media handles that closely resembles to legitimate brands to deceive customers or, or tarnish the brand's reputation. Non-repudiation. Non-repudiation is closely related to authenticity, means that someone cannot deny being the source of a given action. Most commonly, non-repudiation is provided through the use of digital signatures. Just like your physical signature on a piece of paper certifies that you either authorized it or agree to whatever is written on it, the digital version acts the same way. It attests that the email that you have sent is basically comes from your email address and you are the one who sent it. An example of non-repudiation is when a person logs into the bank account and then applies for a loan. He does not read the fine print until later, at which point he decides he does not like the terms of the transaction, so he calls up to the bank to say that he never signed the contract and to please make sure to go it away. Although the session was authenticated, he or she could claim that they have stepped away from the computer while logged into the bank's website and that someone else walked over the keyboard and stepped on enter, executing the transaction, and this claim could hold into the code. Now, to counter this, a bank could introduce PIN or OTP before executing the transaction. This will make sure that the initiator cannot deny later that they did not execute the transactions. So this is a concept of non-repudiation, that a person cannot deny that they are the one who executed the action. So in this video, we have gone through the security concepts such as confidentiality, integrity, availability, authenticity, and non-repudiation. In the next video, we will discuss some more security concepts. So if you like this video, then do subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification, as I will be uploading the videos on a regular basis. If you have any thoughts or feedback, then do provide them in the comment sections. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this has been informative to you all, and I'll see you in the next video.